All right, here we are at the superhero spoiler show. Episode 7 of What If is our main topic, and we have other things that we could discuss. It is a show where AFOLs like myself and my friends gather and discuss superhero stuff and sci-fi stuff, and we've got an episode of What If this week called What If Thor Were an Only Child? And it's kind of a weird title, right? Like, how crazy can that be that they're telling us in that title, what if no Loki? Well, not no Loki, right? It's what if Loki were not adopted by Odin and became Thor's adopted brother?
Right.
Hey, Ivan, thanks for checking in again. Good to see you in the chat. Yeah, I'll introduce my panel again. Hey, thanks for being here, Larry. Appreciate it. Almost every week. It's nice to have a co-host. Yeah.
I'm not doing nothing.
Troy was pretty good early in the stages, but I know he's got job changes. So
we flip some days and stuff, and sometimes doesn't work for everybody.
My other brother from our collab, Mel Brown, Iceberg Bricks is here.
What's up? What's up?
Your collab building is coming along very well.
Thank you, man. It took me a while, man. I'm sorry. You guys are waiting for me to see that.
We're all still waiting for this pandemic to give us a reason to gather again, right?
Yeah,
and it does feel like things are kind of going back to normal. I went to a Comic-Con yesterday. It was like the first thing I probably did, other than going to the museum that I helped volunteer at. Yeah, it was just a local Comic-Con. It wasn't like a big San Diego Wizard World even. It was just, local comic book and cosplayers and artists. And I had a good time. And I know, Mel, you've done a couple of Lego conventions out there on the East Coast. So
I have.
Awesome. We'll ask you more about that when we get to other things. Khan is here. He's in party mode, I think. Party mode, Khan.
I'm a party llama.
Party llama.
I was gonna pour a beer before the show because I kind of put beer. Thor holding the beers, right? So
yes.
Yeah.
So we all know Khan and his alter ego, or can I say alter ego, Doc?
Yeah.
He's got his own identity. What are you talking about?
Yeah, collab partners.
His Muppet roommate.
Yeah. Are you building the Monkey King mech?
I am. I had it on the shelf for a bit. I built it and I stopped. I do things like that. I go halfway through a build and stop. And then I just come back to it.
He's finishing the Monkey King mech. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay. It took me 2 years to assemble Voltron, so you're good, Mel.
It's that size too. If you put
it's
those
done now, but it took 2 years.
Right. It took me a little while.
That mech looks good next to Voltron, by the way.
Yeah.
Sizes up. The color scheme, I was holding up this box earlier. Here's another Marvel What If set, and it's got that color scheme. Iron Man, Iron Man.
So do you think we're going to see that episode?
Right. Yeah. Before we dig into Thor, what if this box set doesn't even become an episode?
That's my thought too.
Right.
I'd be like, where is it at? I mean, Lego makes Marvel superhero sets not based on shows, so they don't have to share the royalties. But what's this?
Yep.
Right.
That's Marvel Studios right there, not just Marvel.
Fake set.
Right?
It's fake. It's fake. Don't believe it. It's fake set.
It's like it's a fake story. It's not even one of the flippy panels at the beginning when they're showing, all of the prism and everything. It's not even one of those.
No. I mean, honestly, not to make this a Lego show, but like even the Shang-Chi sets, you look at the movie and then you start looking at the sets, like, the dragon, okay. But that other stuff, like was it the one with the taxi cab in it?
Yeah.
It wasn't even the same color as the guy's car. I'm like,
Right, exactly. It's not a taxi cab. It's supposed to be Rachel Fisk's car. So I'm just kind of like,
yeah.
That didn't spoil the movie.
Right. Come on, man.
The water serpent dragon kind of gives you a better look at what might have popped out of the outside of that trailer. They just show it underwater. So
yeah, you gotta have a segment called "Come On, Man." Come on, Lego. Gotta do better than that.
Do better, Lego.
Come on. But that's what happens when AFOLs get together. We talk Lego a lot. We're also comic book fans.
Yeah.
How about that for a comic book / Thor / Lego mashup?
Right.
There's a variant issue of Avengers from 2012. Avengers number 21. So I have a few Lego variants, and this one popped out today, and I might show some more later. Just a few of those, and that ties in with our Party Thor theme. So, what do you guys think about this episode before we dig into the details? Mel, why don't you tell us? Oh, sleeper.
Man, you know what? Honestly, I love the creativity. I gotta be honest. I love the creativity, but this just doesn't do it. This episode just doesn't do it for me. Like, and look, shout out to the superhero moms for keeping their superhero boys in check, because sometimes we need a little spank. We do.
That's right.
But it seemed like you would think that Thor's behavior would change, but Thor is still the same. I mean, he's still the same. Siblings or no siblings, he's still a party bro.
Yeah.
So I know calling this "What If Party Thor" is not proper, because he was drinking beer and going on crazy adventures anyway.
Yeah, he was still being a frat bro. That's all he is. Thor is a frat bro.
Yeah.
Look at our counterpart, Friday Night Bricks, tuned into the show.
Mr. Reed.
Reed, thanks for tuning in.
Well, I thought it was interesting, the whole Party Thor. It was like his worthiness to wield the hammer never came into question. It's kind of like, if all he is a party boy, how does he have the hammer? It's just like, you would think, you read the comic books, and why he got sent to Earth is because he's shirked his responsibilities. So it's just kind of like, really? His mom is going to go chase him around the universe, and Odin hasn't taken the hammer away? It'd have been one thing if he'd have been Party Thor without the hammer. He was just running around. He didn't get the hammer because Loki didn't challenge him enough to step up to become worthy to be the god of thunder.
True.
It was just, let's just have him party. Let's just make a different Thor. Let's make sure he has the hammer, so when at the end of the episode happens, he's prepared. But it would have been more interesting, I think, to have Thor with a sword or something else. He didn't have the hammer. But anyway.
Yo, Get the Brick is here. Thanks for tuning in. I agree. It could have been what if Party Thor with no hammer. So many things they could have twisted, like, other than and I get it, right? They're focusing on the relationship of Loki and Thor, and taking away that dynamic and showing that he would be a different person if that was not the scenario. And they do a whole flashback kind of animated scene. The Watcher describes Thor and Loki growing up together and their little hijinks, and molding Thor to the MCU Thor we know anyway. So
yeah.
and Loki, right? So what did you guys think? Let's talk about those two main characters we get later in this episode, and we'll break down the details in some sort of timeline order. Maybe we'll jump around. We get a frost giant Loki in this episode.
I know. So do you think he's constantly shape changing, or is he constantly have an illusion on him in the regular universe? Because I was like, whenever he's not adopted by Thor, he's always blue. Or, by Odin, he's always blue. But whenever he's adopted by Odin, all of a sudden he becomes a white guy. So it's just kind of like, is it an illusion? Is he actually blue? And he just making himself look like the other Asgardians, or, what's the deal?
My understanding is that when Odin decides to adopt him, he kind of puts a bit of a spell on him to make him look human, give him the pink skin, but keep him human size too, and take the giant part out. I mean, I know they say he was supposed to be like a runt, but I don't know how canon that is. It's really that way. My understanding is that when he was adopted, Odin put this spell on him. If he tries really hard, he can bring out the blue skin ice giant, but kind of his normal enchanted self is what we know him as. That's okay. Understanding.
Yeah.
But I did love giant blue Loki. That was super awesome.
Yes, with his ice crown.
Ice crown. That was so cool.
Ice crown. It was definitely mischievous. Ready to party it down. It was funny that there were still brothers from other mothers now.
Exactly. They were still like, what? We're still party brothers.
So I like the twist like that, right? They're having fun. This is definitely a humor episode. It's not serious.
Well, after all the darkness, they gotta, let's lighten it up.
Very dark Doctor Strange, evil Doctor Strange episode. And what was the other dark one?
When Hank Pym kills everybody, the zombies ate everybody. It's just kind of like, yo.
Zombies, Killmonger too. That was pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Killmonger takes over the universe.
Nobody died in this one.
Really? Interesting.
Yep.
Well, they mentioned the Alpha Star.
Right. We don't know what happened there, but
I think that even
the goat got home.
Yeah, the goat got home, and it made it sound like it wasn't a civilized planet or a populated planet.
Right.
So I don't know. But what about the giant-sized goddess of death in the room that we're ignoring?
What, was Hela there at the party?
He has a sister too. They didn't even mention his sister.
No, they never.
Well, I guess in this universe, she never came back or whatever.
Well, it's in the and the timeline is all screwed up. To be honest, I did not think too hard about anything that was going on in this episode because it was just a bunch of shenanigans.
Right. You wouldn't even know when it took place because it's almost like this might have taken place before the first Thor movie because Odin, went into the Odin sleep after or whatever. And so it's like this is before the first movie. So, it doesn't fit anywhere. So none of the Avengers.
And Jane Foster, she's out somewhere without Dr. Selvig. So it wasn't supposed to be the same moment that they ran across Thor in the movie Thor. So if this is canon, I mean, can we not mention that Marcy married Howard the Duck? They got married.
I love this is the second appearance of Howard the Duck, man. I grew up on that dude, man. Even though he was one movie dude,
now I need one right now.
I need another movie like right now, man.
I mean, Leah Thompson was in it. I mean, it's like why have they not remade it? There is no reason not to remake it. There is none. We got Deadpool. Let's have a Deadpool with Howard the Duck.
Leah Thompson is pretty old right now, but she's somebody's grandmother right now. So I don't want one with Leah Thompson.
Right, but she could come back as a cameo. She could be somebody in it.
Dude, if we could have Deadpool and Howard the Duck in a movie, I could die happy.
It would be the ultimate Marvel crossover.
Oh my gosh!
To see the duck with guns blazing. Oh my god!
Look at who all shows up for the party. I mean, you got the Sovereign, you've got the Ravagers, you've got the Guardians of the Galaxy, minus Peter Quill. And Groot wasn't there. Rocket was there, but There was no Groot. And I mean, they hadn't been put together yet. I mean, Gamora wasn't there.
Nebula was there, but she was all robotic, wasn't she? So it was like Thanos was out there somewhere.
Yeah, she was trying to pay for a new eye at the craps table.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters in the background here. Let me see if I can find some screenshots. We get Korg and some other people like in that
well, all of these funny
Ragnarok series
are all gladiators from Ragnarok. And there's a whole bunch of those guys in there. You know, all these people from Sakaar, including
we got Drax.
Yeah, even the Collector was there.
Drax,
the Collector and the
Doctor are all drinking together. That's awesome.
Riding segways. Or whatever that is.
Those hover rounds.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There's Rocket. The
awesome.
Rabbit. There's a rabbit in the sink.
So funny. And that whole hotel room even looked like the Hangover movie.
Yeah.
That was cool.
I was gonna call that the Hangover wake up scene.
Yeah.
Where you're like, it's morning.
And you had to have Rocket in there because, you know, Bradley Cooper.
Right. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh,
gotta make that connection.
Yeah,
another tie-in, yeah, okay.
So I mean, it was a bunch of shenanigans, and it was a lot of fun, you know, just seeing all those characters and what they were doing.
Yeah, did you think they tried to humanize Captain Marvel? So that, you know, everybody's like, you know, Brie Larson isn't such a stick in the mud. You know,
she still was a party pooper, bro.
I think she smiled at one point.
No, I mean, she's still OP. Like, she comes in, they hear the sonic boom, and they're like, "Whoa, what was that?" And then when she just says something to Frigga when she's visiting, and she's like, "Oh, I know who you are." So she's well known.
Yeah.
I have a sequence. Let's see if I don't get in trouble.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
We got
no audio. Zoom in 10%.
Another title of this episode could have been "What If Captain Marvel versus Thor?" Because this is a blow for blow sequence that's pretty epic in anime. With power and lightning and some great fighting.
Yeah, but neither one gets a scratch. You noticed?
Right.
They would blow half the planet away in order to take each other out.
And there's more of the beginning where they beam down. So, we don't want to talk about the end yet. We're doing good. We're blowing through what if Thor was an only child and he just partied all the time and so during that hangover wake up scene, Shield knocks on the door, right? First they called Jane on her cell phone, then they call the room, then they're knocking on the door, and it's one of the agents and Maria Hill, basically. And then they have a funny story about Nick Fury getting knocked over by Korg doing a cannonball or a ball cannon. Full of humor, pretty good. You know, we didn't go around the room, but definitely this is a funny episode. I liked it. And they do, you know, we'll talk about the end, and then I guess then we can give it a full rating. But Nick Fury and Maria Hill and Coulson, I believe all the same actors came back. A lot of the voice actors for Asgardians and Guardians characters. And anyway.
Okay, was Jane Foster the same actress?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Jane and Darcy were the same.
Yeah, I recognize Darcy's voice just because
Mhm.
What a goofball.
And yeah, we're not done with Natalie Portman. We're gonna see what
Yeah,
if
isn't she gonna become a Thor or something?
female Thor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So having her back kind of is a shout out to get ready for Love and Thunder and see what happens there. And I wish Agents of Shield was here. I'm dropping all the Shield names. Coulson was also in the lineup, and he talked about the party atmosphere is spreading over the
Yeah.
world. You know, they're like, this is like some sort of pandemic that party.
Yes. And that map grew redder and redder even as he talked.
It's like
Started out with like 7 spots and then just grew. It just grew behind him.
yeah.
Even
And
the Pennsylvania Dutch.
Yep, even the Amish. It's a pandemic.
and it's interesting. Maria Hill, very serious in this episode, calls in the last resort. And we get a suitcase opening, and it's the beeper that we see for Captain Marvel. And they call Captain Marvel in because I guess this party is just too big, and they weren't invited.
Uh-huh. Shut
Party
this party
pooper.
down and return to your place of origin.
So the party, the party is continuing. They had shown some scenes that I thought were in Las Vegas, right? We started in Vegas, then we went to Paris, and that's where we saw Frost Giant Loki, and then we hear the boom, and here comes Captain Marvel. And before they call her a party pooper, she gets to call Thor Whitesnake. And that was a great 90s reference.
That was a Stark line, wasn't it? Because Tony used to give everybody cute little nicknames.
And who called him Spicoli?
I don't know.
Somebody called him Spicoli. I forget who it was.
Look what we got here.
Wasn't Coulson?
We got a chef checking in.
Dude Jude's
the
here.
one, the only Dude Jude is here. Thanks, guys. We are in the middle of talking about the party pooper coming in and starting to trade blows with Thor, and they fight across the world.
Oh yeah,
that was cool, right?
Yeah.
I thought that the Looney Tunes fonts over the countries was a little much.
It's Disney, right? It's Disney, so
yeah,
I thought that was proper. But yeah, they do. They zoom out and they show you what country they're going from. Paris, France, to England. They land in Stonehenge, and
your little rock. I knocked over all your little rocks.
It's like, what? Don't touch this. Man, yeah, they make a mess of Midgard, and USA is next. I'm not sure where they land in this desert. They basically are uppercutting each other, flying across from one country to another country. I like that. As if you're going to show godlike characters with this kind of power, fist fighting with some power on Earth. It's reminded me of Invincible a little bit when Omni-Man, Omni-Man and Invincible are flying across the country and through mountains and destroying things. So this one's a little more lighthearted, just a bit. They fly over Hawaii, and that's just kind of a shot, and back to Paris. So they circled the globe. Shield's in the helicarrier, and they just kind of regroup after that. They get back, and they're trying to figure out that Captain Marvel didn't quite succeed there, right?
Yeah, that was one cool looking scene though, when she's standing there and the helicarrier's all silhouetted in the background and Thor's on the ground. It was just like, yeah, that's cool.
Oh yeah, they had the hammer on her chest. Like,
Uh-huh.
ew.
I
I don't know if I've seen like that.
but I just expected her to pick it up and just be like, because she's Captain Marvel and why
Yeah, or
wouldn't
at
she be
least-
worthy? She just picked it up off her chest and tossed it on the ground and went and punched him. And then just watch all the fanboys lose their mind. That she picked up and discarded the hammer. She was like, whatever.
or at least wiggle out of that,
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, this will probably get me in trouble if I show. Is this Avengers? Where Captain Marvel comes in. Definitely reminisce. I mean, we got the telecarrier, we got the shield.
Mhm.
It is that matchup, and the first time they see each other, there's this scene, right?
She's not even phased by the hammer. She's just like, whatever. It wouldn't have done anything. It
And
would
that
have
was
hit me.
Stormbreaker. So
Yeah.
anyway, that one was queued up. So we'll see if that gets me in trouble. So there's some conversations here. I'll break down my notes. Thanks guys for moving this right along. We're doing great. There's a cell phone conversation with Jane and Thor because they're, hooking up. Apparently,
Got their matching
They show 'em-
tattoos.
Got
they
that
don't quite
number.
show them in the same bed in that hangover scene, but it is Disney, so
Yes. Uh-huh.
Uh,
It was implied, and that's all it needed to be.
Did you guys catch when Thor is telling Jane that he knows how to bring the thunder?
oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there's some sly remarks from Loki. The next phone conversation is the Frost Giant answering Thor's little cell phone and be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, smoochy, mooch, smoochy. You want to talk to Thor? He's busy right now." And yeah, that was some weird stuff, but they show more damage to the world. The ice giants roll over the Ferris wheel in England. The big, what do they call that? The Eye or something.
Yep. The London Eye. What were they doing with the arch? I couldn't get what
Oh,
they were trying.
They were trying to make it into a slingshot.
Yeah, they had it upside down. That was their next hijinks. They were going to shoot
Yeah.
the galaxy's largest slingshot. They found a cool
Okay.
device. And then
Fire
I
the
know,
Washington Monument as an arrow.
I know Larry's probably a fan of Surtur showing up.
Yeah.
Hunging it, kind of getting cozy with the Statue of Liberty. But
Yeah, and what's his name? Clancy did the voice for him again too. That was cool.
yeah, same
Okay,
voice
yeah.
came back. Yeah. They iced up Mount Rushmore. They're gonna mess around with the Sydney Opera House. It's pretty messed up around the world.
Yeah.
So they're coming up with their end all be all. Captain Marvel's gonna grab him, fly him to Siberia, and they're gonna drop a nuke on him. I'm like, whoa, okay.
Right.
Not. I don't know, man. I mean, people are having a good
think
time.
that would work. I might put him unconscious, but
Would that work, Mel? What do you think? Like dropping a nuke on Thor?
Nah, I don't think that'll work. I don't think that'll.
he took the blast from the sun when they were making Stormbreaker.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
It fried him pretty good, but he still recovered.
Solar power, yeah.
It's Thor.
I don't know. It just seemed kind of dumb to throw him against Siberia. It's like, why didn't you just throw him up against the moon and then just let her just hit him as hard as she wanted to while he's laying on the surface of the moon? Because then there's no people.
Yeah.
There
There's
you
no
go.
cities.
Yeah,
There's
why
no,
Yeah.
Grab him
atmosphere
by his cape and fly him into the sun.
or
They were
something.
halfway
Exactly.
there.
Not throw him in Siberia and then we'll just drop a nuke. And then what are we going to do with the fallout? I mean, and we're not
Right.
thinking this through, Maria. It's just like, the Russian people and the
Yeah.
Chinese. I'm just like, what?
We need Nick Fury back.
Uh-huh. It's like we could have dropped him in the middle of the Mojave or something and dropped
Yeah,
a nuke
she
on
was
him.
she was pretty eager to nuke him too.
Mm-hmm.
So our hero maybe in this story is Jane. figuring out. We got Thor, we got Loki. Where's Odin? Where's Frigga? Where's Heimdall? So
I'm gonna tell your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he had the Warriors 3 with him at the beginning? They were partying with him, and and Odin went to sleep. Beginning,
right.
By the way, I love that Frigga was like poking him.
Make sure he was asleep.
You sleep?
Okay.
Can I go now? Can I go? Can I go?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Yeah. So I think Jane is kind of the hero of the story. She gets the boost of a call. You know, she's already exploring these anomalies in science, right? And calls out to Heimdall, and he hears. She knows from the lore that he sees all, and very quickly asks where Frigga is. Gets to Frigga's wine party with her sisters, and tells on mom. So
I know. And then she gets through her long-winded explanation. It's just kind of like, cut to the chase, please. Earth is about to be destroyed.
Right. What did you do now? So she makes a kind of a magical hologram kind of call down to Thor immediately before she physically goes down there. Thought that was kind of weird. Like if she can get down there that fast, I guess she's just checking in first, like, hey, what's going on? It was a little divisive, this magical hologram thing.
Well, yeah, it had to be divisive so you could do the Ferris Bueller, you know.
Put the world back together real quick.
Right.
All right.
You got to have the scrub the graffiti montage while waiting for mom to come.
Exactly. I expected them to play the Ferris Bueller music too, but they didn't. I was like, come on, you guys got the money for this.
Meanwhile, at Fast Times at Asgard High, Thor's lying about his study group and his cultural exchange, and to his mother, and saying, "Oh no, we're doing good down here. It's no problem, you know." And that's what you do on a party call, like risky business, like, yeah, it's all good. And then you got to clean up, right?
Like weird science.
Yeah, all those 90s 80s movies, oh my gosh. And it wraps into Captain Marvel's like period of when we met her anyway.
Yeah, the whole 80s.
Yeah, so the party's over, mom's coming. I mean, he literally goes up in the air to get everyone's attention and says, my mother's coming. Help me clean.
I thought it would have been better if everybody just would have left and he would have had to scramble and clean it all, because that's what happened in real life. Everybody would have been like, what, your mother's coming? We're out. Yeah. Goodbye.
Most of them are out.
Bye. Only your best friends are hanging out. Everybody else is gone, you know.
Frost giants are leaving. Reminds me of who else we didn't mention. Topaz and Grandmaster are in this episode.
Oh yeah.
And they're on some scooters at this point, and they're like, we're keeping the scoots. But one of the best lines was when DJ Grandmaster's like getting the party going, and then hits release the foam.
Yeah.
I think I want to build that part into a little scene, because I just did a Baron Zemo DJ booth. Yeah, but it would be great to put Grandmaster back here and then have a bunch of foam coming down or something.
Yeah, bubbles. Yeah, love that. Use that popcorn piece.
Yep. All right, we're almost there, guys. Chalkboard, study group, learning is magic. The more you know. And he gets away with it almost, even with an assist from Captain Marvel. Here's that stuff you wanted on the iPad.
Yeah, but you know, mom, you being parents, mom didn't buy it for a second, but it's all cleaned up, so she ain't got nothing to say. She's like, you know that I know that something went down,
yeah.
But I'm gonna let it go.
And like some classic movies, there's like a little secret, like oops, and he calls for the hammer. And I don't know how it got so messy that everything else was like cleaned up. wasn't he just using the hammer to fight with? But,
Like 3
Yeah,
minutes
I thought
ago.
that too. Like,
I mean,
it's got Mardi Gras beads on it and somebody's underpants and graffiti.
yeah.
Exactly. Loki fixed it up before he left. He was like, "Oh, that's right. Frigga's coming here." I mean,
And I'm not overthinking this episode too much.
Right.
But yeah.
until the end.
It was fun. It was
Yeah,
fun
it was
until the end.
They do these divisive things just to have a joke, right?
Mhm.
So that kind of plays back to they got tattoos too of science and magic. So
Yep.
that was interesting.
And Darcy married Howard the Duck. I mean,
That's Mrs. the Duck.
it's Mrs. the Duck.
Mel, what do you think? Are we going to get season 2 What If and a continuation of What If Mr. and Mrs. the Duck?
I certainly hope not, man. I don't know. It's just like, it just, Thor is just being Thor. No matter what you change, his situation of siblings or not, he still know how to, start a party. So
yeah. What about the duck, though? I mean, I think we should have, like, if they're going to do a Howard, it would be great to get Howard the Duck movie.
Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like they're teasing it. Yeah, because that's just like the second appearance on that.
Yep. I think they're testing the waters. They're like, do you guys really like him? Really?
Yeah.
Do you really like him? I'm like, yes, we like him. Damn it.
Right. Yeah.
Bobby's not holding back either. What if they made a mediocre animated show? It started hot. Episode 1, Captain Carter is still by far my favorite.
Yeah.
And then each episode's a little bit of a notch down, I think.
Yeah.
Right to where we are. And the Watcher is more and more physically manifesting and taking part and watching. At the end of this one, after Thor asked Jane out for a date, he says, "Together they live happily ever after." Oh, wait. What? And I don't have it queued up, but we see the bit kind of this is usually something you see at the end credits scene, right? Do I even have this? We see this guy appear.
Yeah, we see Ultron in his real body.
This episode was the introduction of the bro Thor, because we're building another team.
Mm-hmm.
That's that we've seen in the trailers, and that all this was a gratuitous fun show to introduce bro Thor as the comic relief of this new team, apparently, for this going on. And we can talk about theories about this.
Yeah.
Because first question, the Watcher is taken by surprise? What?
Mm-hmm.
The Watcher's not taken by surprise. He sees all these different multiverses. He sees all the possible scenarios.
So, but he's not quite like Kang, though, right? He's not like seeing it from from the future and the past at all time watching. Mm-hmm. He's kind of like watching it live.
Yeah, and I felt like it was because the Watcher, he knows what should happen next in a story in that particular universe. And then all of a sudden, what he's seeing and what we're seeing is a crossing of the timelines.
Mm.
All of a sudden, it's just like, wait, what? How come that guy can't be here because he's in his own universe? Why is he over here in Thor's universe? That was the wait, what? That was what that meant. It's just kind of like, uh-oh. And we get all of that because of the whole, when they stabbed He Who Shall Remain, because he was keeping all of the timelines all separate, because there were alternate realities already. He was just keeping them from interacting. And that's why anytime anybody was a variant or whatever, they were a variant of their own universe, of their own, their own reality. And so he would trim those off in order to keep all of the multiverse from interacting with each other. Once they killed He Who Remains, now all of a sudden the multiverses can interact with one another. And that's what we're seeing in the What If. Because they're all like tied to it. That's why all the shows that Disney, since Wanda, all the way. It's all leading. It's all telling the same story.
Yeah.
It's all part of that same story, leading all to, the multiverse of madness. So the next parts of the story will be in the Spider-Man. And then it'll lead to the thing, because the whole idea that the multiverse suddenly came into being in Loki is not true, because in the first Doctor Strange movie, they mentioned the multiverse, and you couldn't have a Loki series if you didn't have a multiverse that already existed, because each one of those characters were not people from our universe that were variants that were called off. They were variants from their own separate universes. So we already know that there are at least 6 multiverse, running at the same time with our MCU. We just need to know how many are there, a million? Are there infinite number, or was he who remained keeping it all in check? Because by keeping it in check is how he kept Kang from killing him, and taking over everything and whatever. So now that he's gone, now you have, Kang taking over, and so now all the multiverses will collide in some way. So we got to figure out a way to keep the multiverses from interacting, but still remaining. Because,
Hey, Brickman. Great. Let me turn that into maybe a question back to Mel, because I think you're saying, and if I bring this back and I found the scene, they beam down these Ultron robots. Khan, I believe you're saying these guys are beaming in from a different dimension, a different
another universe.
Because another option would be because they're partying, they're not paying attention, and these guys came into power. I don't know. What do you think, Mel?
Yeah, I think so. I think Khan is right. You got that those intertwining of timelines going in, and I think Ultron. So if there's Ultron and Ultron is in this human form, that means there's no Vision, and it's probably a very, very angry, pissed off Wanda somewhere. So, Vision was the only one that could really come back. Right?
Is that Ultron completed his mission to get into Vision's body,
right?
So you never have a Vision for Wanda to fall in love with. That relationship never happens.
Yeah,
right.
But from Age of Ultron forward, where something different happens, he gets the Vision's body. Then he decides, okay, I need the Infinity Stones. I have one. So then, because he shows up, he's got them all. In the timelines, though, where if we're thinking that this is kind of in the beginning of the MCU movies, the beginning of Phase 1, around about the time of the Thor movie, all the Infinity Stones are still scattered, except for a couple. So I'm thinking this version of Ultron, this Ultra Vision, is also coming from another time.
Another time.
Because Age of Ultron doesn't happen until after the events of what we're seeing. But again, it was really mashed up. I mean, you're seeing people that are there in the party on Earth that you're like, well, okay, you're bringing people into the story much earlier than we know. Not a big deal, because they're all out there. They're all out there in the universe or in the galaxy. Thor brought them together for a party. Great, I can live with that. But if you have Ultra Vision coming through, and he's got all the Infinity Stones. So we were already to Endgame, basically, in the time frame.
Right.
Not exactly, but the first time that we see all the stones together is Endgame in the main timeline. So even if he kind of gathers them early, he's still having but again, if he's coming from another multiverse, nice. Nice.
So we got to build one now with an Ultron hand, like silver hand or something.
Yeah. Maybe on Tuesday. That's your assignment, Jesse.
You guys have been great, trying to push me. Where's the bro Thor set? I'm like, man, I was doing builds for a whole series. I did one thing for WandaVision, one thing for I can't do one for every episode of What If.
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Expectations, whatever they call it.
I have ideas. and maybe something for the finale. I believe it's a finale. Ultron, Age of Ultron was one of my favorites, top of my list. I loved that villain character for the Avengers, and so I'm excited to see what.
Okay, so they're creating a team so far. So then we have Captain Carter, you have Star-Lord, T'Challa. What hero did we get out of the Hank Pym is killing everybody episode?
Spider-Man with a cape.
Okay, and then Spider-Man with the cape was from the zombie episode, but the Hank Pym killing everybody, would that be the Black Widow? Because she was the last one standing.
Yeah, that's
so. Then, you think that we might still
have a Black Widow story?
Yeah, well, I guess that was her story basically, because she investigated it.
She was dead. Remember, they showed all the coffins, and there was a Black Widow coffin
at the end.
That's it, because that was
she was the one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was Loki. Because it was Loki.
The library and disappeared, and you assumed she was killed.
Right. So then is Loki the?
We're gonna get a team up, that's for sure.
You know what I mean? So what are all the heroes we get? So you still think that there might be a Sakaar Iron Man, because we don't have an Iron Man yet.
Where's that set? We're kind of calling them the Guardians of the Multiverse, right? Jumping forward to next episode, thinking it's a finale, a multiversal battle, and something tying
I think it's Agent
Carter, Star-Lord, T'Challa. I think Spidey Hunter from the Zombie Hunter, Spidey will be there. We had Killmonger episode. I don't know that he would be a good guy, though. He wouldn't be helping those guys out.
Right, but the friend of my enemy is my whatever,
True. Shuri and Pepper were actually teaming up at the end of that episode.
So maybe
I believe there are sliver shots of them actually doing back-to-back action that we have not seen yet. So I think maybe we'll see a rescue and Shuri from the Killmonger stuff. So zombies
we haven't had, because we know Black Widow's going to be there, but we haven't seen a Black Widow story.
No, right, because
we know Gamora's going to be there with Thanos armor. We haven't seen that story, but it could be that could be in the end. The story.
Right in the final episode or whatever. Yeah,
because if Gamora has Thanos's role, she's not going after the Infinity Stones, and this Ultra Vision has them. That could all wrap. It's got to wrap together, right?
Exactly, guy. He could have killed Thanos to get the whatever final stone he needed. But the thing is, just kind of like, what would he sacrifice on Vormir to get the Soul Stone?
Oh, what would Ultron? Yeah, who'd find a way? Send somebody else there and then steal it from him.
Yeah, I don't think.
All I know is that I want James Spader to voice Ultron.
Yeah, please, James Spader, because they.
I don't want Paul Bettany Vision. I want James Spader Ultron.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that'd be great.
They haven't released the cast names or whatever yet.
Not for this Ultra thing. So,
and it is only going to be 8. What if is only going to be 8 episodes, not 10?
I don't know. Who's got the information?
I pray for 12 because it's animated. And I'm like, come on,
Jesse. This is your show. You need.
I'm not ready. I would have to Google it. Help me out. Hey, let's ask the chat. Who's out there watching? What if? How many episodes do you think it is? We're on 7 of at least 8. Because it is coming to some sort of story.
I thought we were coming to a mid-season. They called it a mid-season cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Mid-season.
So that means 6. That means 8 more. Because I actually think it's animated. It's got to be at least 12. I mean, come on, Disney. Don't cheap out on me. Come on.
Yeah, it's animated. You just these people are doing it at home, making the stuff at home.
Tell these stories. We also have evil Doctor Strange that'll probably team up with them all. And I was just going back through all my notes to look at all the episodes. What if they lost the mightiest heroes? Well, who was left after? Jeez, was it Loki addressed it Earth? Well, we have President Loki.
Well, I did
I
IMDb
think there was a
James
Captain
Spader,
Marvel.
and Spader, it doesn't show that he's working on anything for
Star-Lord, Captain Carter. I think we'll have some champions of the multiverse, and the big bad is going to be pretty epic.
Have they hinted at who the big bad is? Does he think it's going to be Ultron? You don't think it's going to be somebody pulling the strings behind all of it?
And how much of a role will the Watcher play? Because he seems to be like getting involved now.
I almost feel like his watching these events or causing these events. It's just kind of like, dude, you do realize that watching whatever does influence. You are, much as you think you're not interfering, you are interfering by watching.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Is the number out there, Larry?
I don't see one.
Yeah, I was confused.
Let's see. Let me try something else here.
Let
me hack into Disney real quick.
Yeah. Otherwise, we discussed the whole show. Any final thoughts from your side, Iceberg?
Oh man, I think this one here was just, I don't know, you just probably put this one on the bottom shelf for me, man. I mean, I think they kind of strung you along just to get to that point, and then like when you see Ultron and Scar, great, continue the story, and then they shut it right off when you. And it's like, no. It's almost like, if you ever watch a Simpsons episode, like the first 5 seconds of the show has nothing to do with the rest.
Yeah.
It take you on a tangent. It always takes a left turn, and that left turn is about the whole entire show. Well, this time we got that 5 seconds at the end of the show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's low on my rankings, but I'm excited for this. Yeah, the cliffhanger part.
IMDb does have an episode 9.
Okay, so we get 2 more at least.
And the image they have on it is T'Challa, Star-Lord. No. Let's see here. What do we got? The episode 9 looks like that's the one with everybody. It's got T'Challa. It's got Bruce Banner, Thor, Peggy Carter.
Hulk that survived the zombies. It'll be interesting. I don't think we need to really break it down until it happens, because there's infinite possibilities, and
they could just be tricking us with the picture too.
I like breaking down the story we have, and because they left us on a cliffhanger, we got to theorize about it a little bit here. Get the brick saying, when is Gamora coming?
Who knows?
Why is Gamora?
What if Gamora?
What if Gamora?
What if Gamora?
I think that might be next, because I can see this happening in the first 5 seconds of the next episode, Mel. The 5 seconds Simpsons show is Watcher. Whoa, like he's caught off guard. I gotta retrace the steps where these guys came from. How did this surprise me?
Right.
And he'll show us something leading up to this event, I hope.
Yeah.
Chef says 10 episodes.
10. Okay, we're on 7 of 10. So we'll get 8, 9, 10. We got 3 more to draw up a final story arc using all that we've seen.
Yeah, because I want that Sakaran. I want that dang Sakaran race car. I want to see that. Come on.
Don't just give us the robot. We want to see. We want to see Stark in his heavy metal shirt.
Yeah, man. I got 2 sets. I'm gonna build the race car and the robot.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, do you want to talk about some visions? Other kind of visions?
Yeah, let's wrap it up on Marvel shows. If really quickly you want to touch on Star Wars, we have an animated manga style Star Wars Vision shorts, right? They're like 15 minutes. And my advice is, do not watch them all at once. 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 max at a time. So because each short is a different style, different characters, So if you don't like, development and then boom, done, you're really gonna think these stories are short mail.
Yeah.
They get you right into it and then kind of leave you hanging.
I think, because I think there was only one episode that had anybody that you recognize, which was the second one.
Oh no, yeah,
with Jabba.
Okay.
And they had,
That one was the best one.
Of those characters.
What? So let's. So the first episode is I call it the Ronin episode, but I think it's
The Duel.
The Duel.
The Duel.
Yeah.
And
I loved that one. I love the art of it. I love that it was mostly black and white, except for just the lights. You had green,
lights and
blue,
droids,
the lightsaber colors, which came important at the end. But I did like the style of it. I love when she pulled off her hood. It was like Dragon Ball Z and perm.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z perm. Yeah.
That was an interesting character. She's got like high heels, and her Sith sword is like an umbrella thing.
Yeah, that was
spinning around.
That was dumb.
She was very She reminded me of an Inquisitor, very much so. She stepped up.
That was cool.
I got a question though. How come Mr. Ronin Sith guy has a scabbard? You notice he pulls his lightsaber out of a scabbard? It's like
this episode.
Do that if it's a laser sword.
Yeah, as much as I like this episode for its style, it diverges, I think, the most from Star Wars. It is more of a samurai movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
And the katanas are sheathed swords that happen to be lightsabers but they don't retract and expand. They unsheathe them. So I thought that was for a what if Star Wars concept, it's pretty clever. And different. So I think that's just their take, it's like it brings it close. It doesn't give you that dynamic though of like fighting and then retracting the lightsaber and then surprising somebody with a shot, which they do. But that was my favorite.
It was very just samurai action kind of move of an episode. The next one with the chibi Boba Fett.
That Boba Fett was so cute. What are you talking about? Cute and deadly.
They were all chibi
and deadly.
There was
a rock and roll slug.
Fortuna.
Rock and roll slug. I do like the concept. So they follow a rock band that ultimately performs for Jabba the Hutt. And he always had entertainment around him. He was just gangster. He had his throne, his dancers and singers that they added in later.
He had Max Rebo's band.
But and the cantina stuff is pretty classic to Star Wars. So I like the idea that the concept anyway, so that it was more childish, the art style.
Yeah.
More, I don't even want to say. I wish I knew all the directors and this stuff and how they're relating. But yeah, this was more. It's just kind of for kids,
Yeah, but I thought it was the most Star Warsy of all of them. It was.
Well, except for the 3 torso devil guy. I mean, it's like
I had never seen that alien before, but
But we see a lot of different aliens in Star Wars, and it is very short. But he starts as a Padawan, and then falls, and then hides. Right. So I really do believe. I think this is probably the most Star Wars.
And I love that he turned that old lightsaber into a microphone.
Yeah. So that was okay. It was a fun, like it was more.
Yeah, if you're gonna watch that with little Spidey, you want to watch that one with little Spidey Iceberg. I would say that's the one to watch. Episode 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's see. Episode 3. I don't want to go further than 3, but 3 was the twins, and it's another.
That one was really weird.
It was weird, and I think I want to see Jesse make a twin Star Destroyer.
Oh yeah.
Good luck.
Nice.
2
Yeah.
Star Destroyers
I
with a
need, you,
big
I need
Death
you to get
Star
yourself a
cannon.
hold of 2 UCS Star Destroyers,
Okay.
and then make a big engine in the middle.
Yep.
To me, that episode was so over the top. But I mean, that's how a lot of those anime shows are, especially the the Dragon Ball Z style.
Yes, it was like Yu-Gi-Oh on,
Right.
It's like you can't get more powerful than this, and then they become more powerful than that, and then he's more powerful. Now she's more powerful, and he cuts a Star Destroyer in half with a lightsaber he hooked up to the hyperdrive.
Yeah, that was called back to the Last Jedi when they did the whole blasting the Snoke with taking off. That's what he did. He was like, "Here we go."
Except he's standing outside the ship on the front.
On the front of the
lightsaber.
Through the Force, all things are possible. You saw Princess Leia floating through the sky.
There's that.
Come back inside her spaceship. I felt the entire thing was like, this took place in the Last Jedi universe. So, you can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah, this was out there. You're right.
Why does he?
It was very Star Wars,
on his Star Destroyer, though.
We have twins. We have the Kyber crystal powering that Death Star type of cannon.
A big one, a big Kyber crystal.
Yeah.
Because then they ended up, because what happened? They like split it apart, and he took his part.
Yeah, very Kylo Ren.
Star Trek did and got more power.
That's why he was able to do that whole move, because he had that super Kyber crystal. You did watch the episode, right? in the whole. It fit in its whole universe. So it was just kind of like, it made sense. It was just kind of like, okay. When it first started, I was like, okay, so this is going to be one of those, And so when it went there, to me, it was just like, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, destroy it. It was like, yeah. You had a whole like Luke and Leia vibe, and she definitely was like, evil Darth Vader, chick, So, it was.
I think it does scratch that itch. Like we all kind of want to see other twins being born by Luke or whatever, and then one of the twins is, they kind of do that.
Yeah, one is good, one is evil.
A little bit, but he wasn't a twin, right? So we really want to see the evil twin versus the good twin.
But my thing was, I think they're too Japanese. They're not Star Wars enough. It's like they have a hint of Star Wars to them, but they basically are Japanese cartoons.
Man.
Well, that's why we're here to break it down.
So that's my deal with them. And I definitely think that funny one is the closest we're going to get to actual Star Wars. Is going to be that one. It's going to be.
They could do a Christmas special with those characters.
Everything else is just going to be very stylized Japanese samurai kind of lone warrior.
Well, yeah. I don't think they can continue any of the other ones. I've watched, I think, all of them now, but over 3 different days. There might be another one that I think they could continue. Don't want to break it down on this one. 3 at a time. Thanks, Larry, for bringing that up. We had fun with Visions, so I would take more. I would take some sort of take the best one, whatever one. Use it as a pilot and take the best one and show me an hour episode or show me a small series so that we can really develop those characters a little more.
Oh, yeah. Well, just I would really love to see like now that we've seen the Japanese version of the Star Wars, is how about a Middle Eastern version? I would like to see what their take is on it. See, other cultures that are not Western, what's their take on, their spin on it, let's see some stuff.
The whole
let's
Star
make
Wars
it universal.
Comes from the Seven Samurais is kind of the base story that Lucas took from. So the roots, the ancestry of Star Wars is all from Asian influence anyway. So
that's why I think that's why the Mandalorian I think works so well
from a different perspective.
Yeah, I like it that way too. I was thinking the same thing. Larry, Lucas had Lone Wolf and Cub, is basically the Mandalorian.
Yep.
But way back, when he was developing that storyline, and the droids being the comic relief characters and things like that. And we get a lot more of that in some other episodes. Probably these 3. There's some droid comic relief in these animes. So I'm happy.
I love the droid with the hat in the warrior one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, when the
check him
tea
out.
and the classic samurai, when the tea starts to boil and whistle, that's your signal.
That was great.
You knew that was going to happen as soon as he put that on. I'm like, uh-oh. I was wondering, like, what's going to happen when he put that on? And he walked away. But I was quite surprised when he pulls out his lightsaber, and it's red, and he saves everybody. And it's just kind of
yeah, that was cool. And how he's got all of those red kyber crystals. So for those of us that haven't seen the show, Mel,
I see the first episode.
You saw the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Number 5 is good. I think so. Out of all of them so far, I like number 5 the best.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything about it, but
okay.
Others are worth more. It's worth it's 15 minutes, so just when you're watching What If or whatever the next show is, catch up and watch one episode of a Vision show, and I'll be looking for a T-shirt or something, because man, I just like that style. It's great artwork, if not the best or long story. It doesn't work all the time, but happy to have more Star Wars. I'm happy to have more superhero shows. What else are you guys looking forward to? We've get Eternals. I haven't seen new footage.
When does Hawkeye start?
Hawkeye had that trailer. That'll be Christmas, right? They're definitely December, because it's going to be that theme during the show. We also, I think, got confirmation that Ms. Marvel is next year, 2022. And otherwise, we should see She-Hulk. I know the actress from Orchid Black, or whatever it was called, is amazing. So that'll be interesting.
Yeah, that show was trippy. Orphan Black.
Yeah, Orphan Black. And and she can act, because wow, she was doing so many different characters,
different versions of herself. She is a perfect variant actor.
We got Venom 2 October 15th.
Venom and Carnage.
What?
Oh yeah, wow. Okay, so time to hit the theaters, people. Get out there. I see Nicole Kidman advertising people to go back to the theaters.
The theaters, yep. Yeah. AMC, we make theaters better.
Yes. What else is out there?
So Eternals is the next Marvel movie then, right? Eternals.
Well,
now it would be Venom, right?
I wouldn't count
Venom, Eternal, and
Spider-Man.
Eternals, then Spider-Man.
And then Eternals. So all of that's coming up in the big screen format.
Next 3 months.
Yeah, so I think it's Venom 2 October, Eternals November, Spider-Man December, right?
Yeah.
A movie a month?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure it'll all tie in. The way Shang-Chi ended with the 10 rings, and how that might happen. They're doing it again. So we'll break down whatever we can on top of some Disney Plus shows. Thanks for being here, guys. Larry, appreciate the commentary. Mel, thanks for doing some building chat. The Monkey Kid mech looks good, and that tower next to you is fire.
Dude, that's insane.
That's coming along.
Hey, does this guy want to plug? You want to plug your show?
Oh yeah. You want to plug Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday we're doing Lego Versus on my channel. It's about like 6 o'clock, right? 6 p.m. 6 p.m. Eastern.
6 p.m. Eastern. Okay.
Eastern, 6 p.m. Yep.
Yeah,
Add an
We're
hour.
gonna be there this time.
We'll go across the time zones.
Me,
Question, Larry.
that guy.
Okay, and then no Troy,
Troy?
no.
Troy's coming?
Troy can make it on Tuesdays, so that's why we're doing
because
Tuesdays.
didn't Troy make the award-winning one from last year? I mean, he made the best one.
He always knocks it out the park. He's
Yeah.
got great ideas. What's up with Con and Doc Sampson's show? Hey, thanks for the shout out. I got a shout
no
out
problem.
video.
I just want more people to be here at this dang show.
Yeah, I think it worked. We had quite a few in the chat. Dude Jude, Bobby Perez, Brickman Mosaic, Chef T.
Because everybody wants to talk superheroes, but there's no place to do it. I'm like, yes, there is, damn you.
Yeah.
And it's been going on for weeks.
It sprang out of Friday Night Bricks. Reed falls asleep when we talk Marvel shows.
Yep.
I was going to say, we saw Reed for half a second, and then he realized, oh, this is about superheroes. I'm out.
I'm like, it doesn't anything to make Reed fall asleep on a Friday. You know.
Right.
We weren't talking about ice bears or bowling, so he was like, meh.
Anyway, shout out to Reed and starting a new channel. So everyone, if you're available on Fridays, check out our build-in chat. It's Friday Night Bricks on a Friday Night Bricks channel instead of at Hope Castle. So
all the bricks all the time on Friday.
All the bricks all the time.
The original Friday night show.
That's
There's nowhere
right.
else to be on Friday night except Reed's channel.
It's been
That's
going
right.
for 3 years straight, like 177 episodes.
Yeah.
It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, Lego Masters show up there all the time, people.
Moto was in the chat. Brian
Mel shows up.
The former director of Brick World gave us a behind the scenes at Brick World Novi, Michigan. It was pretty good last week. So
yeah, anybody that's at a convention usually shows up, and we get a back behind the scenes after hours tour of all the bricks. It's fantastic.
yeah. Doc's usually there and a bunch of others in the Lego community. So check out Friday Night
We
Bricks.
usually get a moto sighting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Check out Doc. He's doing like the daily grind. There's something new every day. Very clever stuff. And what was I watching just today? I know you've been eating the Kit Kats and
Oh yeah, but I got a spicy noodle I got to do. I got to redeem myself from that non-spicy one from the last time. I'm like, all right. This one says liquid fire on the side. Okay, here we go.
I guess that was the last one I was watching. There's something about you're always covering Lego stuff too, searching and finding stuff at stores. So
Oh yeah. And then I found the stunts early. Those are pretty fun. The little motorized motorcycles.
Stunt bikes. Yeah. I want to get that. It's like a pullback motor or a push.
They're
motor.
friction motors. You rev them up. You go rev, push, and then let go, and they take off. They go. You wouldn't, man. Yeah, they are fun. I had a blast making that video. There was so much footage on the, that I had to put on the cutting room floor. Otherwise, that video would have gone on and on and on. Just me playing with those motorcycles.
All right, guys. Until next time, go collect your Infinity Gems because we're gonna need somebody to fight back, and I'm looking forward to seeing some champions of the multiverse.
Yeah, man.
Take care and stay creative. Love everyone's Lego builds, and thanks for being here for the spoiler show. Until next time. Oh, I didn't hit end.